Maxx Crosby, he's going to come in at the end, punch it out.
Mahomes is sacked by Crosby, his second of the game.
Mad Max, Mad Max, Mad Max, Mad Max.
What is up, boys and girls? Welcome back to our huddle. This is The Rush with the one and only Mad Max. I am your co-host, Brother Roback, and our two degenerates that we love with our whole heart, DT and Creel. Welcome, boys.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know.
Let's get it. Diaz right here.
100%.
All times.
As you guys know, it's week 6 at Allegiant Field. Patriots versus the Raiders. We got our celebratory cigars. This is what we do on a normal basis, so we want to bring that to you guys here from the beautiful home of Maxx Crosby. It is beautiful out here, probably 90 degrees, so all you cold people at home, we feel bad for you. But nonetheless, week 6, Raiders take the dub, 21-17. Crazy game from start to finish, fun-packed. Man, Max, we appreciate you being here once again, as always, opening your house to us. Man, we just want to kick it over to you. A little opening thoughts on the game, because it was a doozy.
Yeah, it was legendary, man. Obviously, we had New England come in town. Bill Belichick. Obviously, Coach McDaniels is coming from New England as well. So there's a lot of backstory behind the matchup. But obviously, it was an incredible game. 21-17. We got the dub, which was obviously the number one most important goal. We found a way to win. The defense again, we came through and. There's no better feeling. We've been talking about it for weeks. We want to be the reason we win. We see the offense obviously getting better and better every single week. And, it was incredible. The offense started off 16-play drive. Didn't get a touchdown, but we they're on the field making plays. Michael Mayer came through, had a bunch of big plays on the first drive. I think he had 87 yards on the game, so big shout out to the boy Michael Mayer, Notre Dame Fighting Irish. I know Jerry and Isaac Rochelle will like that. But big shout out to the boys. We came through. It was an ugly game. Like we said, it's the AFC North, Pittsburgh versus Baltimore type matchup. Great, defensive game, run game, and we just found a way to win. So big shout out to the guys. Brian Hoyer coming in as well, stepping in on in the second half and making some big plays. He had a big deep ball to Trey Tucker, the rookie from Cincy. He came through, made some plays. And we just found a way. And at the end, we're up 2 points, and we had to get a big stop. I think they got a penalty, got pushed back, and then we closed it with the safety. Me and the boy Bilal Nichols. So big shout out to Bilal.
Let's go, Bilal.
Chicago, former Chicago Bear. Me and him, that's my brother, man. He's getting better and better every week. So big shout out to him. And yeah, man, it was an incredible game. 4-point dub. 3-3 now. So we got some room for improvement, but we got to go to Chicago and go get another dub.
100%. You hit on a lot of the key moments in the game. Obviously, a lot of highlights in that moment. Let's just start off from the very beginning, right? Hot start, so to speak. 16-play drive. Took about 8 minutes off the clock for you guys. Can you just speak to that for your offense, how important it was for you guys to get the ball rolling? I know things haven't gone your way early on offensively, but the defense has been stout. So that being said, obviously some more points is going to be huge and helpful. Just that huge drive, because the quarter in the first half flew by. So what did you see from the offense today? Them going out to that start, did that set the tone for you guys on the defensive end? And just like how did that go about for you guys over there on the sidelines?
Yeah, we were fired up. I love starting. Defense goes out first, get a big stop. Like there's nothing better to starting the game off hot. I like going out there. You just warmed up. You're like, all right, let's go. But we were sitting there for a hot minute. I think it was an 8-play, or like you said, an 8-minute drive, 16 plays. We're just watching the offense operate, and you see them getting better every single week, and more guys are getting involved. Michael Mayer, like I said, at 5 catches, 87 yards. You had Jakobi again balling at 61 yards, a touchdown. Devontae is causing so much attention that it's opening up a lot of things for us, and Devontae's he's still gonna ball regardless, but. You just see guys stepping up. Like I said, Trey Tucker coming in making plays. Josh Jacobs, another almost 100 yards on the game total. So yeah, you just see the offense, getting better and better, and that's what you love to see. And then as a defense, we went out there. I think we got a 3-and-out, and then another 3-and-out, and that's complimentary football. We talk about it all the time. We got to start fast. We got to finish stronger. So that's really what today was. We found a way. It wasn't pretty, but that's what it's all about, man. Just stepping up when we need it most, And, guys fought. It was an ugly game, but it was a beautiful win.
100%. And you said it. They set the tone, right? So you guys come out there, two 3-and-outs from you guys on the defense. Can you just speak to the defense? For the last couple weeks, you guys been cooking. Is there something that has just switched with you guys? Is it just a mentality? You're a leader on that side of the ball. Yeah. What have you seen from your guys, including the coaching staff, but what have you seen from your guys that has just elevated the play? Because you guys are holding motherfuckers down. I mean, you truly are.
Yeah, like we talk about, Pat Graham came in the meeting a couple weeks ago and was like, we want to be the reason we win. We take a lot of pride in it. We take it personal because our defense is constantly, in the media and everything, their defense is the reason why they're struggling and this and that. And for us, we take that shit. Yeah, we hear that chatter. And at the end of the day, we see everything. And we got a lot of new guys. Like I said, Spillane, Marcus Epps. We got, John Jenkins, Adam, right here, Spillane, Adam Butler, all these new guys, Marcus Peters. But dudes are stepping up and making plays, and the guys that have been here, like the Trayvon Morrick's having a great year so far, and there's just dudes stepping up, constantly. So for us as a defense, I can say it a million times, but it's literally like Michael Jordan says, I took it personal, and you just see guys getting better, and we're playing together, and that's all you can really ask for. We're not panicking when there's a turnover. It's all right. Let's get a stop. That's it. It's simple as that. At the end of the game, I got a roughing the passer, unfortunately, no comment. But we got that penalty, and they end up scoring. And, we didn't panic. Everyone came up to me. Marcus, all the guys are like, bro, don't even trip about it. Just next play. And I told them, I got y'all. Don't worry about it. And we found a way. So, yeah, just our defense is clicking. Our D-line in general, we're so tight-knit. Robbie Leonard, Matt Edwards, the coaches, they have us all dialed in 24/7. It's all about us. That's how we talk. And, we go to dinners every single Thursday. Everyone talks every second. Right now, if my phone, unfortunately, I want to be texting the guys, but we're in the group chat roasting each other, and that's what it's all about. We're constantly seeking for that 1% to improve on, and I think people are starting to see that on Sundays.
Absolutely. No, you guys are clicking. You guys are communicating. Obviously, there's some familiar faces out there, but there's also some new ones, right? So
yep.
I'm sure the communication, just rep by rep, game by game, is just getting better. Man, it's super fun to watch you guys flying around because you guys are holding people, to a lot fewer points than what they're probably accustomed to.
Mm-hmm.
I know the Patriots been struggling on offense, but hell, make them struggle a little bit more. I mean, we enjoyed it. So, you guys went up 10 early on. Jimmy G goes out. What is the thought process? I know it's always next man up. Did you think it was going to be Aiden? Did you think it was going to be Hoyer? I know a lot of people were thinking maybe Hoyer a little fucking. He gets a little. Comeback against his old team. Maybe he has a little familiarity with that scheme and what they're doing on Belichick.
Yeah.
Were you surprised by Hoyer going in, or what was your guys' thought process with Jimmy G leaving the game?
Honestly, this is a crazy part about the whole situation. I literally had no idea until I came back out on the field. I was laid out the locker room. I was getting my knee drained again, and I come out on the field and they're like, Jimmy's hurt, and I didn't know what was going on. They're like, Jimmy's done. He's not playing. Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, what? I completely missed the whole thing. And Hoyer comes in, and he freaking balled out, bro. He came in and made some big throws. He managed the game really well, and he played well when we needed it most. So, yeah, things like that. That's football. And as far as the defense, your quarterback goes down. You're like, okay, it's even more pressure. We got it. It's on us. We got the lead. There's no excuse. We got to go out there and get more stops. And we had one drive that kind of got away with it, got away on us, and they went down and scored. We responded, got a couple 3-and-outs, and then, they had, like we talked about, the roughing the passer, whatever, they scored, and then, we still didn't panic, and that's really what our defense has come down to, is, guys are improving, and they're not panicking, and we're sticking together and just constantly communicating on the field, and, you feel that out there. You're like, all right, I know Marcus is going to hold me down. I know Spillane's crazy ass is going to hold it down, Diablo. Bless you. But all these guys, they're going to hold it down. And that's what it really comes down to. Is if you're close to each other, you trust each other, you know each other's families. It's different when you're on the field. You're like, all right, I'm a win for my brother. We'll find a way. And that's what, people are seeing.
Absolutely, bro. You can see it out there. Spillane, another huge fucking game. By the way, boys and girls, I ran into Spillane after the game. He says he's a huge fan of the pod. So another huge point. If you haven't liked and you haven't subscribed, show that love down below. Please do it.
Down below.
We appreciate it. And I know everyone else does too. down below.
Down below.
And but yeah, Splain's a huge fan of the pod. I mean, do you blame him? Because I sure as fuck don't.
Not at all.
No, you talked a little bit about that penalty late in the game. Obviously, you just play balls to the wall, which is also why it's so fun to watch. Because from start to finish, you're going as hard as you can. And what do you know? The game comes down to the last play, which we're going to get to that moment on our favorite segment, the Big Sack.
Yeah.
Big sack.
To you, the Big Sack. So, to you, bro, when you get that penalty, I know you're questionable ass penalty. I'll say that for you because we don't want any fines coming your way. But your thought process in that, because obviously they're going to make their way off the field and the offense is going to make their way out there as well. Just you wrapping your mind around the penalty. We know we don't agree with it, but how do you lock back in mentally yourself and just forget about that play and wash it?
Yeah, honestly, it's the worst feeling, especially in that type of moment when you don't think it's a penalty and then, it gets called and you're like, damn, I just let my team down. And that's what it really was for me. I'm like, damn. But it's either you let it affect the rest of the game, or you go out there and you go make up for it. And that's literally what I told everybody on the sideline. I'm like, I got y'all. Just watch this. And y'all could ask them. Like, and literally that's what it was. And I was just telling them, like, no, I'm gonna get y'all back. Don't worry. And that's what it came down to. Like, that's football. In general. Like, it's how you respond. Who plays the best on a play-to-play basis? Like, you can let one bad play affect the next three. And for me, like my mental at all times is like, damn, I know in the back of my head I was pissed, but I'm like, I know I'm gonna get another shot, and I have to be at my best, and I'm gonna finish this. So that's literally all where my mind was, and it really came down to the last play. We called a game. So
absolutely,
yeah, it was lit.
Yeah, and another guy who has been emerging on the scene, I would say some would call him a sleeper, but I don't sleep much, so I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't call it that at all. But Jakobi Meyers, can you speak to him on just his growth, his elevation of his play? Because going into it last week, we talked about Devontae playing his former team.
Yeah.
Now Jakobi's in the same boat, playing his former team. We know what happened last year in the final play. We won't do that to him again.
No.
But we do know that he's elevating, right? So Devontae's getting a lot of love. People are prepping him, game planning, double teaming him, triple him. You're used to that.
Yeah.
You know a little bit about that.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. But Jakobi stepping up and being like a 1B almost. Can you just speak to just the way he is? What's he like every single day at practice? Have you seen this before everybody else? We see it on game days, but do you see this every single day in practice?
100%. Jakobi is one of the most underrated receivers in the game. I don't think he gets talked about enough in those conversations, but you see Jakobi is getting better and better every single week. He's always open. If the ball's in his range, he's catching it. And he's just one of those guys that's like, he's not like a typical receiver. Like, you think about receivers, like they got the right sleeves on, they're looking pretty. Like, Jakobi will go in there and crack a safety as hard as he can, and then go out and route somebody up. So like, you have guys like that on offense, catching the ball. Like, it motivates you as a defense. You're like, all right, we got dogs on both sides, and especially playing receiver, you're like, you don't expect that. So yeah, Jakobi's been like that since day one, and I've seen it last year when we had a joint practice with the Patriots. They came into town. And Jakobi was out there going crazy and making crazy catches and making plays. And I was like, yeah, this dude's tough. And then when we signed him, I'm like, fuck yes. I'm like, he's a perfect, complement to Devontae, because the more weapons, the better. And guys are seeing it every single week. You see Meyers starting to come along, Trey Tucker, obviously Jakobi's balling, and Devontae's one of one. So, yeah, like, you just see more guys stepping up, and it's like, when you're on the sideline, you want to you tune in and watch. Like, I'm locked in and worried about the next possession, but it's hard not to watch the offense too, because you're like, all right, who's going to ball out? Who's going to make the play on this drive? Who's going to go? So it's awesome. And, Jakobi playing his former team, big touchdown, balled out, made some big plays at the end of the game. Jakobi, I got a massive amount of respect for him. Dude's a baller. So big shout out to Jakobi Meyers. The man is an absolute dog. All right, y'all. Now it's time for the Dog of the Day segment of the show. Come on now. Dog of the Day. We got to give a big shout out. Michigan State Spartan. OG, 38 years old. Backup quarterback steps in at halftime. Brian Hoyer. Big shout out to Hoyer. Me and Hoyer, we have some history in practice. We go back and forth. He doesn't like when I get too close to the quarterback, but we got a mutual respect for each other. So Brian Hoyer coming in, obviously stepping in for Jimmy G after he got hurt, and he comes in and leads us to a victory. He goes out there, I think he was 6 of 10. Situation, as a backup quarterback, you never know when it's going to be your time. So you have a guy like Brian Hoyer. He's seen and played a lot of football in his life and career, and he stepped in. He didn't blink, and he helped us, get that victory. So big shout out to B. Hoy, the OG, coming in and playing great. And I think he was the dog of the day. He didn't flinch at all, and he made some big plays. So big shout out to B. Hoy. You're the dog of the day, brother. It's right here.
Hey.
Way to be great. Way to be great, B. Hoy, because he's out here.
Definitely.
Another moment. Let's switch over to the Patriots, right?
Yep.
Bill Belichick, one of the goats in his own rights.
Yes, 100%.
You knew he was going to game plan accordingly. People think he's a defensive genius, but I'm sure he has a lot of offensive say as well.
Yes.
And he also knows where to attack defenses. So we saw Mac Jones getting the ball out a lot.
Yeah. Quick.
What did you see from them? Were they scheming you a certain way? A lot of bodies being thrown, but a lot of quick passes. What does that say to you? Do you take that as a compliment? And also, how did you kind of redirect yourself and how you're going to attack them from a defensive standpoint with them getting the ball out so quick?
Yeah, you're 100% spot on. It's a Patriot thing. McDaniels, he's coming from there, so he has a lot of insight during the week telling me, what to expect. And we played him last year, and, I played all right last year versus the Patriots, but I knew, more attention was coming. And for me, it was another thing. I'm like, I got to take it personal. You know what I mean? It's like I want to improve. I want to have a better, showing versus the Patriots this year. And I knew attention was coming. I knew they would run a lot of different boots, screens, double teams, chips, all things like that. So for me, it's like when you're playing a team like that is literally their game plan is to take away their best player. Like that's literally the motto. I knew what was coming. And for me, it's like you can't get frustrated. I can't go out of myself and start trying to do extra and then, mess up, fuck up plays. So it's like I just got to trust the process, and that was my whole goal this week is literally dominate one play at a time. I wrote in my journal every single page. Like just dominate one play at a time, the plays will come. And that's exactly what happened. I'm like, literally the whole game I had a lot, I was making tackles, I had some pressures, I was winning rushes. But, at the end of the day, it's like you got to just stay locked in and know you got to trust that play is going to come at the right time. And, like, for me, it was just stay in it, don't get too – like I remember in the last two plays, I think they had a penalty, a delay of game.
Yes.
And I heard the crowd like before that snap, and it was just booming in there. Booming. And I was just so like I was in a different place mentally. It was so quiet, like I didn't hear anything, and I was just literally just looking at the details. I was just looking at the tackle. I'm like, and literally talking to myself in my head. I'm like, I'm gonna do exactly what I do in practice, and I'm gonna get home. Boom, we ran the game. I came clean down memory lane. And they blew the whistle. I'm like, oh my God. I was like, I would have just sacked safety ball game. And then I'm like, all right, I got to do this shit again. I line up on the other side the next time. And that was it. I was like, I make this play, it's over. And that was it. I got to beat the chipper. I know Gesicki's going to try to chip me. I'm going to beat him right now, and I'm going to get on the edge, and I'm going to win. And that's literally what was going through my mind. And, we made it work. And obviously, Bilal Nichols getting in there, winning his rush. And we split the sack. So, yeah, it's just, in those moments, you just got to calm your brain and just do what you're trying to do.
Yeah, it's too damn bad that was a delay game.
Yes.
Because what people don't know is the boy Maxx here came in with a Bobby Boucher jersey for pregame. And he came out of it with it, right? So he's running around there. H2O. He is out here screaming down the middle, and all I can think is, oh my God, it's Bobby Boucher. He just also, actually,
I should have wore a single bar.
I'm glad we're talking about this.
Done it.
Talking to single bars. Everyone back home probably saw it was a little bit of a difference of appearance for you, right? The face mask was different. Normally you got that triangle on your face mask. What is up with that? You came out with a different helmet today. Can you just speak on what was up with that?
I'm gonna be real honest. I love the National Football League, everything we represent. But Roger Goodell, we gotta get on a call. We gotta FaceTime. I want to talk to you. Sit down, man to man.
Should we call him on the pod?
We might have to.
So
because they made me take my face mask off. I played the first 5 weeks, not one word. We play on Monday night. My face on the screen a lot. There's too much going on, I guess, for Roger, and he sent in a nice email saying it has to go. And I'm like, Raj, what are we doing? I'm out here representing sobriety to the fullest. I got it tatted on my neck, my hands, everywhere. So I put on my face mask. It means a lot to me. It means all of the people watching, they understand what's going on. And, you know, it was, you know, did a lot of things. It just kind of, you know, rubbed me the wrong way. But we're going to have our conversation. I'm looking forward to it.
You were too swaggy for him.
I guess so.
Something like that.
Something, you know.
What does the triangle mean to you? Because everyone sees it all over to you. I don't know if anyone else has seen it, but if you're open to telling everyone that, like, what does the triangle mean specifically to you? The triangle to me represents sobriety. It's everything. It's why I'm here. It's why I'm doing this podcast with y'all. It's why I got a beautiful daughter, a family, a great fucking circle of people. It literally is everything. If I didn't make that decision to clean my life up and get in AA and the 12 steps, I wouldn't be here. So that's literally what it comes down to. It represents everything that I got going on. And so for me, I put it all over my body. I see it every day. I got it on my hand. And I got it, my date, you know, the date I got sober on my hand as well. So it's the first thing I see every single day. When I grab something, I see the triangle at all times. So, yeah, it means a lot to me. So that's why I put on my face mask. So, yeah, I was upset about it, but we're going to work on it, Raj, and we're going to figure that out because we need that triangle back.
All right, boys, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask, right? We had some Eagles out there on the field today. Okay. City, our boy City got a start as a rookie. Talk to us a little bit about that, and then Chad came out banging. Might be the only kicker that I respect.
Who, the Hammer?
Banging kicks, right? So, and then you have you yourself, of course. So talk to us a little bit about how City did it. I love seeing him out there as a rookie and getting the opportunity on the big stage.
Yeah, you know, obviously having 3 Eastern Michigan Eagles starting on the field, you can't beat it. You know what I mean? Big shout out to Coach Creighton. You know,
shout out to Easter. Let's go.
The whole Eagle Nation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Ipsy, Dirty Y.
Who would have thought we'd be here?
Who would have thought? You know what I mean? It's fucking uncanny. But, you know, City, obviously, I think I don't know if it was his first career start, but he was starting. And, yeah, we had a couple little conversations during the game. You know, I'm not sitting there buddying during the game either. So, you know, we had a couple little run-ins, but we talked after the game, obviously showed our respects. I'm super proud of him. You know, getting drafted, playing. He's doing a hell of a job. You know, City's a beast. He's a fucking big body. He's a foreigner, too. He came from overseas. From Canada. Oh, yeah, sorry, not overseas. He came from Canada to Eastern, earns his way in, starts for years. Now he gets drafted in the 4th round. Like, dude like that, it's crazy. You know, there's so many guys that have a different road, you know, to the to the NFL, but he's a living proof of that. And then obviously Chad Ryland was our kicker. Big shout out to Chad. You know, he was drafted I think right after City. He was a pretty high draft pick for a kicker, which is nuts.
I think they went back to back.
He went back to back
to the Patriots. Yeah.
Yeah, Chad was our kicker, our rookie year. Sorry, the dogs are out here. And yeah, you know, big shout out to Chad. I talked to Chad after the game. Great to see him. I haven't seen him in years, but you know, he obviously killed it. Even as a freshman, he was out there sending that motherfucker.
Yes.
So big shout out to Chad. Big shout out to, you know, Eastern Michigan in general. It's just legendary.
Yeah. Really
Fuck is. Yeah. True EMU, baby.
True EMU.
All right.
True EMU.
Now you know what time it is. It's the fan favorite. I mean, at least one of them. We got a lot of good segments, but it's time for the Big Sack. Come on.
Show me your big sack.
All right, to start off the big sack, we're gonna talk real quickly. We gotta give our flowers where they're due. Okay, to the big dogs. You gotta let the big dogs eat. You had 3 of the interior linemen register on the sack column today. Bilal Nichols, he had 4 tackles and a half sack. John Jenkins, 3 tackles, 1 sack, and then Adam Butler, 2 tackles, 1 sack. Talk real quick about what it's like to let those dudes finally. You know, they like we talked about on your 1 sack where you had our first big sack segment, right? It was all about the D tackle turning the guard's shoulders. Now they finally get on the stat sheet. Talk a little bit about them.
Yeah, you know, obviously those 3 guys have been getting better and better every single week. You know, Bilal, I'll start with him. Bilal is freaking absolute dog. He works his ass off. He's constantly asking questions. He's in year 6. And that dude has just constantly been getting better. So, end of the game, comes in there, me and him, you know, split the sack to, you know, call game. And, you know, Bilal, you see him, he's one of those dudes that he's obviously very good against the run, but he has some wiggle to him in the pass rush as well, and he's super strong. So he just keeps getting better, and Bilal loves the game of football, and that, you can't hide it. And I'm super proud of him. That's like my brother. He keeps getting better on a daily basis. So big shout out to Bilal. Then second, you got Adam Butler, the boy Vandy. He was a former O-lineman, DT, so I know you'll appreciate this.
Big body.
He was a tackle in high school. I think he was a guard and tackle in college, then converted to D-tackle at Vandy. And the dude's in, I think, year 8 now. And he's out there balling. He has a Super Bowl or 2. I don't want to be off. Creel, you might have to look that up. But Adam Butler, the dude is one of the most savvy, veteran, intelligent rushers I've ever rushed with. And he's another guy. He knows what's going on the slide. He's calling things out. He's just on it all the time. So Adam Butler steps up, has a huge sack, I think, in the first play. The big body. John Jenkins, the dude is an absolute monster. He's playing nose tackle. Nose tackles don't get too much love these days. But John Jenkins, the dude is bullying people in the run game. And then you see him get a big sack.
Big sack.
Big sack.
And then big old sack. And then he gets a sack, gets the man down. Just John Jenkins is the ultimate veteran. The dude's been in the league for 12 years, been on a lot of teams. He's playing his best football of his career right now. And I can't say enough about the guy. The dude is just a fucking worker. He's in the offseason, the dude's on a bicycle. He'll ride 50 miles. He's insane. And he's 340 pounds. So, yeah, John Jenkins is just exactly what you want in your D-line room. The dude just keeps getting better. And so all three of those guys coming together, each getting a sack. And then, Meek Robertson, the little man, you gotta give a big shout out to him too, because he had one as well. I think it might have been a half, but I'm not gonna say anything about that. But big shout out to Meek making a huge play on that, and the whole gang. Everybody's getting better, and we're getting to the quarterback more often, and that's what it really comes down to. So yeah, we're super hype over here.
Fuck yeah. I mean, it's not every day that the big boys get home. So, all right, let's rewind it. All right, we're going to set the stage. Happens, okay? If you go back to a few times that you mentioned when we've done these episodes, you've always said, as soon as I get a penalty, I play my best, right? A lot of us were over here sweating like, fuck, there's not much time left, okay? Fast forward, you get down, there's that penalty. And, I mean, the angle, I'm literally on my feet. I see you do this to the game. You're coming around scotch-free. I swear to God, I thought this man was going to get decapitated on the goalpost. And then he saw it too. That's why his ass threw the ball right at your feet. Right? Penalty. Yeah, dead ball. Very next play. Game, set, match, opportunity. Right? You come off the edge. You shed the chip from the tight end. You dip and rip again, this tackle, bend the edge, and then you get the big sack of the day. Walk us through exactly, I know you've kind of touched on it, walk us through as you're going through the process. You told us it was quiet for you, you envisioned it, but as you're going through the process, you hit that final rip, you're bending the edge. Boom, start with us there. What's going through your head, and then walk us through what happens afterwards and what it meant to you.
Yeah, I could just literally start from the beginning. Like, I see Mike Gesicki come over. He's coming in motion. I'm like, here comes the chip. I know the chip's coming. They gave me that look a few times. And for me in my head, I'm like, okay, I'm going to get at a perfect angle. I'm going to get the hell off the ball, and I'm going to beat this chip right now. Because if you don't beat the chip right now, the tackle's going to be sitting there waiting on you. So for me, I had to beat the chip. So boom. I swipe him, and he kind of I think he fell down. And I just see the tackle sitting there. Like, he didn't expect me to be there that fast. So I was on him. And he kind of opened the gate a little bit. For me, I just have my pad level down. It's my swipe move. I work it all the time, the stab, swipe, just in general. And I just got low, caught his hands at the perfect time, and I just seen Mac Jones. I'm like, hold the ball in my head. And boom, knocked him out. Safety, ball game. And Bilal obviously coming through the middle, didn't allow him to step up, and we call game. And that's literally what we work for. We talk about it. I practice and train for 5 quarters. I don't practice for 4. So we were ready for that moment. And we were talking about it right before the snap. I'm like, this is why we do the extra 200 yards every single day. And we made the play happen up front and finish the game. So I can't give enough to respect to everybody on that D-line. We're all rushing, all humming towards the quarterback and calling. That was my first safety I've ever gotten. So I was so hype. I was just literally screaming at the top of my lungs, just outer body experience.
Bobby Boucher.
Straight Bobby Boucher mode. But yeah, it was lit. I can't even explain it. Like I said, it's outer body. The whole crowd was so lit. I'm like, that's game. And there's no better feeling than like, boom, it's done. We're taking a knee. It's a wrap. So I was so hyped. You know, everybody in the Allegiant was going dumb.
What? I told you this.
Going dumb. The building was about to explode.
I told you this. Max's dad and I were screaming so hard, I chest bumped him, and his ass literally almost fell over the railing of the suite onto the just Raider Nation, like just sending him away like he's crowd surfing.
Crowd
I
surf.
would have loved it.
I was trying to bless that man.
Either way, he wanted to go out.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, it would have been, okay at that point.
I almost had a
but-
brain aneurysm. I was screaming so loud.
Yeah, I was losing my mind. I was so hyped. I was so excited about it. We're talking on the sideline. Guys were like, "It's your time," and I just kept Dame time. I just always just point to the wrist. I look at my trainers. I look at all the people. I'm like, it's about that time.
Yes,
so
sir.
yeah, we call game and no better feeling.
And then you threw that fucking fuck-ass helmet, face mask off. We were tired
Launched
of it.
it.
Yeah.
I don't want that
No
shit.
better feeling.
I'm over here in the township fucking going bananas. I mean, they thought, my neighbors, if they didn't think I was crazy after that first slate, after the ending of this game, boy, I'm over there. I took my hat, threw it at the TV. It could have been broken. I don't give a fuck. Going nuts. Yeah, I don't care. Remote gone. It was up.
It's just
I'll tell you that.
Sunday from 1 to 8 p.m. You know, anything can happen. It's an
Man.
emotional roller coaster. Buckle up, baby. You know,
Hey,
Buckle up.
put it
that's 2
down,
weeks.
strap in.
2 weeks in a
Four
row.
quarters.
You had the whole stadium, the whole country in the palm of your hand. That's got to be the standard now. That's it. Big sack.
No better feeling. That's the big sack.
Big sack.
All right, Max. So obviously, man, great win, coming out, fucking balling out, having this statement play at the end of the game. But being a leader on the field, being a leader in the locker room, what's your advice to the young guys, to the team in general? You know, as moving forward now, getting back to 500, looking to get above 500 on the road in Chicago. It's cliche to say the 24-hour roll, bam, but you got to enjoy the win in the NFL. It don't come often. When it comes, you got to celebrate it. You know, you got to enjoy the moment. But again, what do you tell the team now moving forward that there is a little bit of momentum, in the Raiders locker room now, man? 3-3. Chargers lose tomorrow. Knock on wood. Now we're in second place.
Yep.
Go ahead, brother.
Amen.
Knock on wood.
Amen. No, bro. Yeah, honestly.
that was coming.
Yeah, exactly. No, yeah, for the young guys, my advice to them is just, what I tell them every single day, just focus on the now. Where we're at right now, the focus on being present and 10 toes down wherever you're doing. It doesn't matter what's happening tomorrow. It doesn't matter what happened yesterday. It's about how can I improve today. And that's literally my motto. And I try to push that through everybody in the team and coaches as well. So, yeah, to the young guys, yeah, it's incredible. We got the win. At the end of the day, we're 3-3. We got the win. And now we got to go beat Chicago. So, yeah, it's for me, it's like a maybe 12 to 18 hour rule. For sure. I wait, I start my recovery immediately after the game. I get in the hot cold tub at the stadium, immediately start my recovery, and then I come home. Brogan had to see me, stretch and get on the Normatex.
In his boxers.
Then, yeah. I have to be limber as always. So, it's just exactly. Yeah, he was helping. He was giving.
Hey, you need me to hold your leg up?
Yeah, but yeah, it's an everyday process, and that's what I preach to the guys. It's like you can never get too high, too low. You just got to stay even keeled and just keep building and elevating every single day, and that's what I preach on a daily basis.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Looking ahead, obviously we've got the Bears this week, going into their territory.
Yeah.
They're struggling a little bit. I thought saw Fields leave the field early today. Not sure what his status is going forward.
Yeah.
But you know how hungry they're going to be. You guys were just in their similar position a few weeks back.
Yeah.
Keeping the momentum going. What are you anticipating on seeing with the Bears? What is it like playing in that stadium there at Soldier Field? Just your thoughts.
Yeah, a super young team. They got a lot of playmakers. DJ Moore, obviously, you saw what happened last, I think Thursday. He went nuts. He had like 200 plus yards. You got Justin Fields. Like you said, we don't know if he's playing or not, but obviously a threat with in the passing game.
Dislocated throwing arm thumb.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Well, we'll see. But yeah, Justin Fields, obviously a dog. He's a threat on the feet and in the passing game. They got a lot of different weapons on their team that they're starting to utilize better. So you've seen they beat Washington, and then they just had a close one with Minnesota today. So we know they're a threat, and they're going to be at home. So we got to be at our best, and it's simple as that. So defensively, I know they have Eberflus as their head coach now. He's a Marinelli product. So obviously you all know Marinelli is my ultimate OG, the best to do it. And so anybody coming, from that guy, you got to be ready to play. Those dudes are going to play hard. And the D-line is coached by Travis Smith now, and he was my assistant. He was Marinelli's assistant D-line coach for my first 3 years in the league. And so me and Travis know each other really well. He's an absolute dog. He's a great coach. He's just gotten better and better, and he's getting these guys playing the right way, and you can just see it on the film. So they're going to, obviously have a lot of challenges. Every time we play in the NFL is going to be a challenge. Every win has to be earned, and so we're definitely looking forward to it. And I've never played at Soldier Field. I've never been to Chicago in general.
What?
I've been to the airport. I've never been in the city. I've never seen it.
Worst
O'Hare
airport in America.
Midway.
Yeah. Never been.
O'Hare.
Yeah, so in general, I've never been to Chicago, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to playing at Soldier Field, and it's going to be lit. I cannot wait.
Yeah, there's turbulence 24/7 whenever you're rolling in and out of Chicago.
That's how Vegas is too, though.
Low-key.
Vegas, when you're about to get to Vegas, you got like 10 minutes left in your flight. You know how it is, Slime. It's constantly your shit is shaking because you're going through the mountains and it's kind of windy and weird. And I hate it every single time we have to land because it's just like you're fucking sitting there shaking the whole time, and it's not ideal.
No, it's not. We got some fan mail-in, right? We got some fans from all of you guys who have liked, you guys subscribed, but you're also commenting on all platforms. You've been doing that, so whether it be Instagram, Twitter, or also just popping on the comments below. So a little fan engagement here, some fan mail. D, you mind reading that off for us, Postal Service?
Absolutely. I mean, they were flooding them today. We're getting a lot more engagement, so shout out to all the Rushmen out there. We got the first question from PVT Nemesis. All right. Which Raider player would you add to the current roster, defense or offense? Which past Raider player?
Past Raider player.
Yep.
You've been getting some toughies lately.
That's tough. Honestly, I'm gonna just say this. This is not my answer, but Charles Woodson, I gotta just give him his respect and shout out because the dude is an absolute GOAT, arguably the best DB of all time.
Yes.
So I want to give you your flowers before I answer this, just because out of respect, because you're my guy, and shout out to Woodson Whiskey, the official sponsor, of the Las Vegas Raiders now. Dude's doing big things. But if I were to add anybody, it would have to be on the D-line, selfishly. Howie Long.
Yes.
I gotta go Howie Long. The dude is an OG, Hall of Famer, Super Bowl champion, absolute legend, one of the best D tackles / DNs of all time. Dude's a monster. So, gotta go with Howie Long. The dude played the game the right way. He was relentless. He was an absolute monster on the field. And, he's one of my OGs. We tap in from time to time. And it's gotta be Howie. The dude's versatile. He would play all over the D-line. And I feel like he would help us in a lot of ways.
Absolutely.
It's tough to go wrong with that answer. All right. Next question. From Sienna Calls. Excluding the Ella tattoo, what's your favorite tattoo that you've gotten?
Whew. Every week.
How many tattoos do you have? That's probably a better question first and foremost. Or have you lost count at this
I have
rate?
no idea.
What about your
Just
fat
body parts.
Texas?
It just like goes by body parts or limbs, right? At that, like once you get like one or two and you're on to like a half sleeve, it's just like, okay, is it half or is it full? You have full, you have two fulls, one full. Okay, do you have leg sleeves? None. You have 4 sleeves, 2 sleeves.
Real with the anatomy.
Look at the anatomy. I have no idea how many tats I have, but to answer your question, besides the Ella, obviously, right here, I'm gonna have to say the triangle. This was the one, I got this before I even got my body tatted.
That probably
So
didn't even
people
hurt.
thought I already had my body tatted when when I got my neck tattoo. And people were like, what the fuck? He has his neck tatted, nothing on his chest or stomach. So, for me, it has to be the triangle. I see it every single day. I see it every time I look on FaceTime with my daughter.
The OG.
That's Big Dog. It's Big Dog.
And that is Dirk. But we're just going to let that roll. And have to say the triangle. It's my favorite. I always wanted a neck tattoo. It's a little, people have, the mixed opinions on, neck tats. But for me, I'm like, I'm going to be 100% myself. This is exactly what I want. I've always wanted one. So I got that thing blasted on me. And it's my favorite tattoo, I would have to say, besides Ella.
Of course. You could always turtleneck it if you really have
No
to.
turtlenecks around here.
None.
Deep V's and no undershirts. That's the vibe.
All right, we got the next Rushman submission here from Brendan Zelensky. All right, Brendan asks, if the Raiders could have an alternate uniform, what would it ideally look like?
You guys already have pretty tough uniforms, bro.
I think we have the best uniforms in football. I will say that. But if we were to do anything, I think the all black with the black helmets would be the one. I mean, that would be insane. But I will say this: I love that we're like, Penn State or like Ohio State or Michigan. Like we just do it classic. You know what I mean? We stick to the script, and that's an Al Davis thing. And Mark Davis, obviously, he's living through that, and he is sticking to the code. So for us, our jerseys are never going to change. But if we were to do it, it would be the all black with silver numbers.
Yes.
Black helmet, silver Raider logo on it. That would be actually insane. But I've seen some edits online. We'll see. Might never happen, but that would definitely be my answer.
Last question of the day. Crosby's today. Great account. What is your favorite move, your pass rushing move?
Ooh. I would have to say my stab swipe. Some call it the voodoo rod. Chuck Bulla, big shout out to Chuck Bulla. That's what he called it. It is an edge rush move. You got to set it up with obviously some power to get their feet stopped. Yeah. But it's a fake long arm to a swipe. But it's all in one motion. Mike Tyson said it best. You make two punches sound like one. It's exactly what this move is. This is what I got on the safety. This is the move I did. You're stabbing, and then the swipe is coming with it. So it's all kind of in one motion. It's got to be like this. But I would say that's like my go-to move. I will say this. It is hard when I get chips. You know what I mean? I can't do that move all the time. But when it's a one-on-one, like, all right, I got to get home. I got the slide away or like the chips away. I'm going stab, swipe majority of the time. But sometimes it just depends. Like it's a feel. It's more of a feel thing. But if I had to pick one, it would have to be the voodoo rod, stab, swipe, whatever you want to call it. That's what it is. That's my favorite move.
I actually have a question off that because in a game,
Yes.
when you get a tell from the lineman, right, whether that's how they set up or, you get a tell on how he's pass protecting you. When you get that tell, do you, in your head, do you exploit it right away? Because I know from a quarterback standpoint, like if I see a guy giving me eyes, but he's trying to fake that he's playing zone, but he's giving me eyes, I know he's really going man.
Yeah.
I'm going to set it up to validate my brain. So then, boom, I'm gonna kill him when it comes to that point.
Yes.
Right. Do you attack it the next play, or do you wait till it's crunch time so then you can exploit it for a big moment? Yeah. How does that go through your head? Because I know you're constantly calculating out there because you are a very calculated player. People think you go balls to the wall, but you're very fucking smart. Yeah. Your IQ football-wise is very high. So when you get that tell, do you exploit it right away, or do you play the games with them?
Honestly, it's all about a feel thing.
Yeah.
Every game is different. Every tackle's different. And for me, it's like I know every team is going to scheme me in a different way. Like we talked about earlier, Bill Belichick, he's going to chip me, he's going to slide me. The Packers, they brought 2 tight ends and a back sometimes. So it's always different. But for me, like you said, it's the game inside the game. If I could win with power to start the game, all right, I'm going to stop his feet, and then that's going to open up the swipe move. If I win with the swipe, it's going to open up the power. So everything is just like, it's a battle of opposites. So for me, I'm constantly keeping the tackle on his heels and always want him guessing and being a half step slow. So for me, that's what it really comes down to is like I'm playing the game inside the game, and I'm going to trust that process and what I've been doing all week when it comes to the game. So in the biggest moments, like we talked about, I hit him with some power earlier. I hit him with some swipes, hit him with some spins. And in the biggest moment, I brought out my best move, and it worked. So yeah, it's literally it's constantly calculating that data in my head. It's like when you're a young player, like especially when I was younger in my career, like I wasn't thinking like that. I'm like, all right, let me just go and
you're
try to
rushing
win the rush,
to it, right? Like rushing to get to that point.
Exactly, and I'm just like playing. You know what I mean? I'm not really thinking like that. For me, every single play, I'm like, okay, I can beat him with this. All right, boom. I got that in my back pocket. I got this in my back pocket. So as the game goes on, you start seeing more rushes win, and I'm like, okay, now I got him. So that's what it is for me. It starts with get off, pad level, feet, hands, eyes, and discipline. And I just keep just flowing through that every single play. and I take it one play at a time, and then by the end, I get the result I want. If I do it the right way and trust my work.
Yeah, that's crazy. You just named like 7 things that you're thinking about, and a normal person sitting at home, they're like, oh yeah, he's just trying to get off the ball or time the snap or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's crazy to hear you break it down to that high of a level, which is why you're literally, in my eyes, I'm biased, I guess, but why you're one of one in top DN in the game, and why you're proving it. Come on now, what the fuck? What do we look like? A bunch of goofballs, man. You're fucking killing it. Sorry, bro. Forgot it. So another thing in new news. Not so much news. There are no undefeated teams in the NFL now.
Yes.
Cleveland, which I hold dearly to my heart. D, I know you do. Baby. I know this is for you.
So does Creel.
Hey,
Creel,
come on.
Browns fan too. Look
fuck
at
ass Steelers. Hey, Cleveland, the city is alive. I'll tell you that right now.
Cleveland is alive. Come on,
here, Dirk. But no undefeated teams in the league. Niners go down to the Browns, and then the Jets take off a big one. What's up, Dirk? You trying to get some love? And then the Jets take down the Eagles. When you see stuff like that, I know it's not a surprise because anyone can win in any given week, but man, dude, that is pretty crazy to me that there are no undefeated teams, and I don't think a whole lot of people probably had it in their checkbooks for the Niners to go down today.
Yeah, that's the NFL.
Injuries.
That's the NFL. That's all you can really say. You could say injuries, but the Browns didn't have Deshaun Watson.
Facts.
They had, what?
D, he's coming to your defense.
I mean, I'm just being honest. That's the NFL. Like, every week is different, and every week matters. Every game, it doesn't matter. You could win the week before, you could have a dominant performance, and then, a team like the Cowboys, a great team, they go out, and the Cardinals were better that day and got a win. And then you got the Jets today, getting a big win versus the Eagles. You got, like we talked about, 19-17. The Browns freaking beat the Niners, which is crazy. But, you just see that's the beauty of the NFL. It's not like college. Like, okay, boom. All right, USC is playing, North Dakota State, and they're going to win by 50. It's like, no, every single week
It's going to be a tough game for them.
No offense, but yeah, it's just not going to happen. And, the NFL, it's like every single week matters, and these are all the best players in the world and all the best coaches. So you have to be on point every single day.
100%.
Hungry dogs run faster.
Hungry dogs run faster.
Amen, D. I like that. Hungry dogs run faster.
Leo, you want to get in here, buddy? Come on.
Leo, come on. Want to join?
Leo, get in, bud.
Want to join the rush?
Oh yeah, he was gonna be jelly.
We got 2 new members of the rush here.
It's the boy right here.
Leo, by the way, how much does Dirk weigh for everyone back home sitting next to you?
Right now he weighs 136. He's sturdy. He's ready to play 3 technique at any moment.
He's in shape.
He's just a
really
big
is.
guy. I mean, he's the man of the people. All right, y'all, this is the Rush segment of the show. We got our 3 Rushmen of the week. We're going to start with the boy, Sam Hubbard. The dude came out, balled out, Ohio State guy, Ohio native. The dude has been consistent his whole career. He just keeps getting better. I got a lot of respect for the dude. I remember when he was rocking, I think it was single digit, he was rocking 6 at Ohio State.
Yep.
He was a great player. He keeps getting better. And, for him today, 5 QB hits, 7 tackles, and a sack. The dude comes through. He's consistent, and he's one of those guys that plays the run well, and he can also rush the passer. So guys like that I have ultimate respect for. And, on the other side, they got the boy Trey Hendrickson. So they just keep getting better. And you see the Bengals get another one. They're back to 500, and that's just the beauty of the NFL. But I got to give my respect to Sam Hubbard. The dude had a huge game today. He was all over the field. So big shout out to Sam Hubbard, Ohio State Buckeye. I grew up a Buckeye fan, if anybody didn't know. But, sorry. And, so big shout out to Sam Hubbard. Number 2, me and Christian Wilkins, we go back a little bit. When we were in college together, we had a little award show. We went to Columbus, Ohio. I know, big shout out to
Club.
Touchdown Club.
I was at the Touchdown
Rogan
Club.
was at the Touchdown
Show
Club.
some
Big shout out to that.
Let's go.
Come on now. But we were at the Touchdown Club, and me and Christian met for the first time. He obviously ended up going on having an All-American career at Clemson, and then he just constantly got better. First round pick. You see him just developing and doing every down dominant player. Today he had 2 sacks, 5 tackles, 3 QB hits. The dude is playing nose tackle. He's playing 3 tech, 4-eye. He's all over the D line, and he's one of those guys in Miami, like Zach Sealer we mentioned last week, that just plays all over the place. And they're just dominant players on a down-to-down basis. So Christian Wilkins, you're my boy. Clemson, Clee, Austin Bryant, Dexter Lawrence, all my boys. From Clemson, you see all those guys doing really well in the league. So got to be, you know, the number 2 today, Christian Wilkins, with a dominant performance. Big shout out to him. So, you know, number 1, this was tough. You know, we had a lot of guys playing at a high level this week. You know, but we went a little NFC North on this one. You know, Lions play or not? It actually wasn't the Lions. It was the Vikings versus the Bears, and Danielle Hunter, another guy, underrated, constantly making plays. I think he was a 4th-round draft pick, so big shout out to him, 4th-round gang. Danielle Hunter, what do you have? 7 tackles,
Yes.
2 sacks, 2 QB hits. The dude is one of the most unorthodox rushers in the league. I've never seen anybody rush like him. His get off is always different. He gets off, his knees aren't bending sometimes when he rushes, and he'll just literally just grab the O-lineman's tackle and pull him through like a little, like he's like so different that I can't even describe his game. There's nobody I've seen play like him. But he is constantly getting the quarterback on the ground. So I think he has 7 sacks now in the year. Danielle Hunter, I've been watching from afar for a long time. Got a massive amount of respect for him. We met at the Pro Bowl this year. We had great conversations. The dude is just super quiet, doesn't say much, but he goes out there and continuously goes out and produces. So our number 1 Rushman of the day is Danielle Hunter. Big shout out to the guy.
Shout out, Danielle.
Appreciate you, bro. All right, y'all, that's all we got for this week. It's episode 3. We're donezo. We got the big win versus the Patriots. We just got to give a big shout out to the fans, man. We talked about it as a group, DT, Creel, Brogan. We just appreciate you guys. We got 3,000 subscribers in a week. We appreciate it. You have no idea how much love we got for y'all, and the support means the world. And so for us, we're like, why not give back to the fans?
100%.
Why not? This is what we do. We want to get y'all involved. So you got to comment, you got to like and subscribe to be a winner to get a signed Maxx Crosby jersey. We're going to have 2 of them. So everybody do that. It's right below. Lock in, and we're going to be doing that ASAP. But first, we got to get to 10,000 subscribers. So y'all keep tuning in, keep showing love and supporting every single week. We're going to keep pushing content, share it, Instagram, TikTok, everyone tune in. It's only going to keep getting better and better. So we appreciate y'all. This is my boy Brogan, best co-host in the world. My brothers, Darian, Dustin, Creel. We're holding it down, man. We appreciate y'all, and tune in next week. Out.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
Peace.